Eric Janicki is one of the biggest science-based lifters of all time, which is why, in order to react to his content, I have had to enlist the help of Sciencey Ant 64. Let's get started. Okay, now Eric Janicki is the GOAT. I love his content. There's a reason why I'm subscribed to him on YouTube and I've watched a bunch of his videos. His long form content I think is amazing. Go check it out. His short form content sometimes is a bit like black and white and it does kind of confuse me. For example, these batteries, these little like percentage bars. You may be wondering, what do they mean? I don't no. My hypothesis for this video was that these like battery percentage bars were meant to represent the tension curve. For example, at the top of a lateral raise, it'd be at 100%. But that's clearly not true because in the first part of the clip, we don't see it ever hit 100%. Then I thought it was on EMG data and activation data, which there's no activation data on half the exercises he shows off here. So he's probably just making it fuck up. Even if this was real EMG data, it's not really very good at predicting hypertrophy. And anyway, he doesn't explain stuff in the caption, so let's read it. Let's break it down. Cuffed lying laterals. Superior tension curve. Minimal trap involvement. Full ROM. Constant tension even at the bottom. So he mentions the tension curve twice, which is interesting. And then he mentions minimal trap involvement. I don't even know if that's true. I guess because the dumbbell version is so much harder at the top than the bottom, maybe that causes the traps to get involved more. If someone can explain why that might be true, let me know in the comment section down below. As for now, I haven't really seen any scientific data. Remember, I am Sciencey Ant 64, not Nerdy Ant 64. I haven't seen any sciencey data to support that. The C lateral raises, easier to overload, more practical in busy gyms. I'm glad he mentioned that because if you're in a busy gym and you use a seared cable row machine to do lateral raises on, you're gonna get weird looks and people won't say it to your face, but behind your back they'll be saying, "Go and fuck yourself." Oh, I'm sorry, Quokka. I was crying. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that, Quokka. He likes the lying lateral raises. That's why his delts are so big. So that hurt his feelings a little bit. But the actual exercise is fine. I don't hate it at all.
Why are they picking on me, bro? Let's start some Discord. So we got some crazy cheat curls from one of the GOATs, Kevin Levrone.
So we're gonna see Eric explain himself here. So let's see how he justifies his exercise selection. In the bottom corner here, you can see 2025 versus 2000. People making fun of him for not looking as alpha.
Well, scientifically speaking, there is no correlation between looking alpha and producing more gains. Therefore, this comparison is idiotic.
Some of the best arms of all time. And then you got me with pipsqueak arms over here.
If Eric has pipsqueak arms, we're all basically two-dimensional then. Our arms don't exist in the three-dimensional plane. I would turn around and you wouldn't be able to see me anymore because I'm so small if he's a pipsqueak.
I'm doing what's called a brachial curl. I'm targeting a very specific muscle group. I am using cuffs. I am trying to push tension as efficiently as possible. As you can see with Kevin here, he is literally using momentum and barely taking over the bicep towards like the top half of the rep where there's almost no tension on the bicep at all. You're stacking the joint. It's an extremely ineffective way to do a curl. If you think you're gonna look like Kevin Levrone curling like this, you are not. You are gonna look pretty much the same, if not worse tomorrow. So do not curl like this. You also probably won't look like me curling like that, but if you do it long enough and maybe throw in a little bit of extra in there, you might as well too. But yeah, I hope you guys love these comparisons.
I do love these comparisons, Eric. And Eric's scientific analysis using the scientific method, I greatly approved of. I think he's completely correct here. Kevin Levrone and any bodybuilder are usually as big as they are because of genetics and steroids. Their training methods make up like 5 or 10% of the reason as to why they're big. Because genetics plays such a ridiculous factor, it's not even funny. Generally, if you cancel out genetics and steroids, if you just train really hard and train consistently, those two things get get you most of your results. Oh, I need enough protein and sleeping enough as well. But you get my point. Also, there were some studies on cheat curls. I found that they produce the same kind of hypertrophy as a standard curl. This may be, in my prediction, my scientific prediction, my hypothesis, if you will, as to why this might be true, is because the main driver of hypertrophy, or the only driver I think, is mechanical tension. So if you kind of control it more on the way down, you can make up for cheating on the way up. I personally like to do a little bit of cheating on bicep curls. I find them much easier to progress on if I'm doing a little bit of cheating. But if you're going to cheat consistently. If you are only increasing weight or reps because your form is getting worse, you're not actually getting stronger, you're not actually building muscle. Keep your form consistent. That's far more important than having 10 out of 10 form. Keeping your form consistent, as long as it's not completely shit, of course.
Tell me if you still love. Said it's just the drugs, and I know.
And he breaks down why one version might be better than the other version. Honestly, both have their pros. I would say do whatever the want. I'm not really 100% convinced it matters here. Or use a machine if you really don't like it. I don't like the dumbbell one simply because the bench kind of gets in the way a little bit. I prefer to just do a full-on bent over row, but it's a matter of preference there. Here he shows us the optimal bicep exercise, and they're all good movements. All these movements will grow your biceps quite a lot. But I want to pause here at the end of the video and discuss, are these optimal exercises actually better for growth? There's really no way of knowing. A lot of people in the science-based space like to reinvent the wheel, if you will. I personally think that all these exercises are going to have almost, if not the exact same effect. Ultimately, what drives muscle growth is mechanical tension. We know that. It's basically just pushing yourself really hard or close to failure. If an exercise allows you to do that, then that's almost the only thing that matters. I guess safety, resistance profile, all those other things do matter as well, of course. But ultimately, if the muscle gets trained hard, it tries to grow as a survival mechanism. So the next time you lift the weight, you don't die. So I don't really think these matter as much as some people make it out to be. I think Eric makes great content. He likes to follow these really funny and gimmicky looking exercises, but they will work. Give them a shot. As long as you're not changing your program all the time and you keep movements the same for a while so you have a chance to progress, it's perfectly fine to give these exercises a shot. Some people blow them off and say they look stupid, therefore they suck. I personally think all these exercises will work. The classics, the new ones. Pick the ones you like, experiment, and see what works best for you. Ultimately, in the science-based space, a lot of people are making their best guess. They're making their own hypothesis as to what might build more muscle. Give them a shot for yourself. That's my take. I love Eric. Go sub and follow to him. I'll put these links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Sciencey Ants out.